The surgeon told me I was gone for 4 minutes and 12 seconds. He said it with a clinical calm, like it was a footnote. But I remember every second of it. Not the light, not the tunnel, not the faces of loved ones waving me home, none of that. What I remember is a room. It had no doors, no windows. The walls weren't white. They weren't any color I have a name for. The floor felt solid beneath me, but when I looked down, I couldn't actually see my feet making contact with anything. I was simply held there, suspended in the logic of the place. And there was a sound, constant, low, like a hum that wasn't made by a machine, more like the sound a thought makes before it becomes a word. I know how that sounds. I've turned it over 100 times trying to find a more rational description. There isn't one. Then I became aware that I wasn't alone. I didn't see anyone. I want to be precise about that. But I felt a presence the way you feel someone standing behind you in a dark hallway, that absolute animal certainty. Whatever it wasn't hostile. It wasn't warm either. It was simply aware of me in the way that a library is aware of every book on its shelves. And then it communicated something. Not in words, not in images. It placed an understanding directly into me, the way you'd press a key into wet clay. The understanding was this. I had been here before. Not once, many times, and each time I forgot. I woke up in the recovery ward screaming a name I didn't recognize. The nurses said I repeated it for almost a minute before I came fully conscious. I don't remember doing that, but the name, I wrote it down the moment they gave me a pen because I was terrified I'd lose it. It was a woman's name, Eastern European, my doctor thought. He looked at me with that particular expression medical professionals use when they're concerned about a patient's psychology. 3 weeks later, I was scrolling through old records my grandmother had left behind in a shoebox, property documents, letters, photographs. I don't know why I even opened it. I hadn't touched it in years. Her name was in there. The exact name. Spelled the exact way I had written it. She was my great-grandmother's sister. She died in 1943. I had never heard of her. There are no photographs of her. No one in my family had spoken her name in living memory. I've been trying to build a rational explanation ever since. Maybe I overheard her name as a child and buried it. Maybe the oxygen deprivation created false connections in my brain and dressed them up as revelation. Neuroscience has frameworks for all of this. I've read them all. But here's the thing that none of those frameworks can touch. The room had no doors. And yet somehow, both times, in 1943 and in that operating theater, we found our way in. I don't think death is an ending. I'm not sure it's a beginning either. I think it might be a corridor, and I think whatever is at the end of it has been watching us walk it for a very, very long time. I just don't know if that should comfort me or terrify me.